Thank you for joining me at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Melissa Delp. We're digging deeper into mushroom rings and signpost trades with this advanced how to play video for Gnome Hollow. Gnome Hollow is a tile-laying game with some set collection and worker placement. It's for 2 to 4 players and takes about an hour to play. It's designed by Amon Anderson and published by the Op. The publisher sponsored this how to play video. Now there are several other how to play videos that cover setup and basic gameplay. In this video, I'm going to focus on the variants, including the signpost trading board and the advanced side of the player board. First though, here's a quick overview of the gameplay. In Gnome Hollow, you play as gnomes who are shaping magical mushroom circles and collecting different kinds of mushrooms. On your turn, you select 2 tiles from the offer and add them to the garden. You're trying to make rings with the mushroom paths. When you do, you'll gain mushrooms if you own the path and unlock benefits on your player board. The larger the ring, the better the reward. After placing your tiles and resolving any benefits, you can move one of your 2 gnomes. Your gnomes can claim a mushroom path, visit a signpost on the board, visit the pinwheel market to sell mushrooms for points, or visit the flower market. At the end of the game, you'll earn additional points for the number of flowers you collected and for how many markers you've unlocked. The player with the most points wins. So that's the general gameplay. Now let's look at the advanced variants. There are 2 variants you can add into your game. You can play with one or both of them because they work independently of each other. I'm going to start with the simpler variant, the mushroom trade board. You add this board to the table. After your gnome visits a signpost in the garden, you can make one of the trades shown under the signpost. So after receiving 2 pink mushrooms, I could decide to trade 2 pink for 3 purple. The trade board is a fairly simple element to add into your game. It gives players options for converting resources and makes the selection of signposts a bit more strategic. The second variant is the advanced player board, found on the back side of the regular player boards. Like the basic boards, these boards are identical for each player. The advanced element is that most of the rings require a specific tile configuration and path shape. You do have one random shaped ring available for each size. Here's what some of the shapes look like in the garden. It's okay if there are other paths on the tiles that aren't part of the ring. This size 7 shape requires a specific rare tile. There's only 2 of these middle tiles in the game. In most instances, a wild tile can be used in the place of a required tile since the path can still be drawn to the correct edge. So even though the path looks curved here, it can still count for a straight section. But using a wild tile in the middle of the bone shape would create 2 separate size 3 mushroom rings. When playing on the advanced side, you have to be more strategic with your tile selection and placement. If you're not careful, you can ruin the shape you are going for. You can also make it difficult for other players by taking the tile they need to complete their shapes. Another thing to consider when choosing which shape to attempt is the reward. In the basic game, you have several options for rewards when you complete a mushroom ring. On the advanced side, each shape has a specific reward. If you're already at your reserve tile limit, completing a shape that gives you another tile might not be the best choice. The rules don't specify whether each player needs to use the same side of the player board, but if you do have some players on the basic side and some on the advanced, it's likely that the players on the basic side will have an easier time completing mushroom circles. So those were the 2 variants you can add into Gnome Hollow, the mushroom trade board and the advanced player board. Thanks for watching this sponsored how to play video for Gnome Hollow. If you have any questions about the game, ask them in the comments. Also, let me know if you've played Gnome Hollow and whether you've tried any of the variants. What's your favorite way to play?